Hey everybody, Jamie here from Start Riot. Happy New Year and welcome back to Thank Punk. It's Friday. We're not even a week into 2018 and already there's been a lot of news. First up, are the Distillers reforming? The band have been posting things on their Twitter and Instagram accounts suggesting so. The band broke up in 2006, a full 3 years after their third and final album, Coral Fang. That album was their major label debut and also saw a departure from their earlier sound, especially that of second breakout album, Sing Sing Death House. I think there were a number of factors in the shift of sound and eventual breakup of the band. First of all, frontwoman Brody Dahl's very public divorce from Ranted's Tim Armstrong, Brody's drug addiction, all the pressures of success and constant touring. When the band did eventually split, Dahl and guitarist Tony Bevy-Lacroix went on to form Spinneret, and Dahl also had a solo album in 2014, but the news that Distillers might be reforming now has lit up the internet. I imagine a lot of people are excited about this because they never got to see the Distillers first time around. Brody Dahl was a pioneer for women in punk before anyone could even compare them to Paramore, and their albums Sing Sing Death House and Coral Fang were two incredible albums that I would love to see live. Here's hoping they do reform, tour the UK, and possibly even release new music. Another huge reunion that got announced this week, the GASLIGHT Anthem have announced they'll be doing 10th anniversary shows of their second album, The 59 Sound. The first show to be announced is the Governor's Ball Festival in New York, but frontman Brian Fallon has said there will be more shows added in the near future. Cue every punk on Twitter demanding that they play their exact city forever. The band have been on hiatus since 2015 and Brian Fallon has been working on solo material since then, but I'm sure fans will be very excited to see them back together. And the first surprise album drop of the year came and went on New Year's Day. Jeff Rosenstock, the New York peddler of posse, power pop and DIY punk, released his third album, Post. It's out digitally on Bandcamp through his label Quote Unquote Records. 10% of all proceeds will be going to Defend Puerto Rico. Good man, Jeff Rosenstock. Physical copies of the album are available to pre-order now and will be available the 23rd of March from Polyvinyl and Specialist Subject here in the UK. In typical Jeff Rosenstock style, he's not done there. He will be touring the US all throughout February, March and April. That man does not stop. Tonight Alive released a new song, Disappear. It's from their upcoming fourth album, Underworld, which is out next week, January the 12th on Hopeless Records. This track also features Lynn Gunn of Paris fame on vocals. Tonight Alive will be touring the US this January and February before heading back to the UK in March. Taylor Madison, the former vocalist and guitarist of Superheaven, has released new music under the name Webbed Wing. Fans of Superheaven will be pleased to know he hasn't strayed too far from the sound that made that band very popular. One of the first bands to explore that kind of new grunge sound that a lot of bands have adopted now. Since Superheaven went on hiatus in 2016, Taylor has also formed the podcast Strange Nerve, which features many bands from Philadelphia and people like Jeff and Tom from Run for Cover and many bands on that roster as well. It's a really good podcast, go check it out. Taylor also talks a lot about the music that he's working on there, so people who listen to that won't be that surprised that new music is here. Manchester-based singer-songwriter Lizzy Farrall releases her debut EP All I Said Was Never Heard today on Pure Noise Records. It's kind of semi-acoustic music for fans of bands like Speak Low, If You Speak Love. She'll be on tour with fellow Pure Noise band Seaway this January in the UK. Wallflower have released a video for the track My Words Borrowed. This was my favourite EP of 2017, Where It Fell Apart, and this is probably my favourite track off it. I first heard them play it on tour with Boston Manor in 2016, and it makes me so happy to see where the band has gone since then. Can't wait to see what they do in 2018, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for more new music. Tiny Moving Parts released a new video for Applause. It's from their upcoming album Swell, out the end of the month on Big Scary Monsters and Triple Crown Records. On this song especially, it always baffles me how Dylan can play such intricate tappy guitar and sing at the same time. Mind-blowing. Heart Attack Man have released a new song called 100 Milligrams Millennial. It's from an upcoming split with McCafferty due out the 2nd of February on Triple Crown Records and Take This to Heart. This sounds a little bit like if Kevin Devine or Weezer met Sum 41. And from the other side of the split, McCafferty have released a song called Finally. This sounds a little bit like the Front Bottoms. And earlier this week we put out an interview with Can't Swim. Great to catch up with them again. Chris revealed that there are more new tracks on the way from the B-sides of Fail You Again. They already released God Awful towards the end of last year. Can't wait to hear more new tracks from them. He also mentioned that there'd be a US tour and a UK tour to be announced for the first half of this year. And if you haven't checked out my albums of the year list for 2017, you can still do that. Paramore was obviously number one. If you have seen me at any point during this last 12 months, that'll be not a surprise in the slightest. But there's some other great albums in there as well. Some you might have heard, some you might not have. Go and check it out. And that's all for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this. Subscribe to Start a Riot on YouTube if you've not already. Like our Facebook page as well. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Have a great weekend, but for now, thank Punk, it's Friday!